Oh, and now we're back to Haru.
Yeah, it was pretty seamless from Fox all the way to Haru and then now to Sophie.
Oh, look at her go. She's awesome. Hey guys, welcome back to PlayStation Underground. You got Kristen here, and I am so excited that we are checking out Persona 5 Strikers, which is going to be coming to PS4 on February 23rd, or 4 days early if you download the deluxe edition. I'm so excited to be jumping back into this world, and I'm joined today by Ari from the Sega and Atlas team. Hey, Ari.
Hey, Kristen. I am glad to be back here on the PlayStation Underground. Well, I guess my first time for Sega, but just very excited to be back and talking to you about the world of Persona.
And look at this world. Where have our Phantom Thieves found themselves? This looks a little different from the previous game.
Yes, so this is Persona 5 Strikers. It's a continuation of the Persona 5 story, and as you can see, we're all already decked out in our Phantom Thieves gear, and we're ready to jump into a jail. A little bit different from the palaces you might know.
I was going to say, so tell me a little bit about what's the difference between a palace and a jail?
So the jail is a lot bigger, there's a lot more going on, you'll find shadows all over the place, and I guess the biggest change is that you're actually in an entire city. So whereas in the jail, you can just explore all around with your Phantom Thieves in an entire cityscape, but in the palace, you were just located in one building or one situation.
Right. Interesting. And then in that opening screen that we just saw, it showed the full team. Are we able to switch our characters around this time?
Yes, that's right. That's a huge change to this Persona 5 Strikers. Essentially, you can play as Joker, you can play as Fox, and I mean, you'll see. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Nice. Oh, let's jump off right here.
He's jumping
Let's
in.
get right into the fray. Man, so I know you mentioned this is a continuation of the Persona 5 story, but this is a new game. We have some new characters that Joker's going to run into. Perhaps a new member of the Phantom Thieves that we'll see a little bit more in action later. They're part of our team here, but we're diving into combat. So tell me a little bit about this is completely different from what we've seen before. It's not really that turn-based, character or Persona type battle. What's going on here?
Right, so as you can see, there's action all over the screen. This is more of a hybrid battle system that fuses all the explosion, action combat, plus the persona that where you pause and you plan your next moves. You can see right there's like a resist little notification that's going up above the shadow's head, so you're still getting that sense of here's the disadvantages, here's the weaknesses you want to dial into. Oh, and there you can see.
Oh, and our new character.
Yes,
yeah.
She is our new character, Sophia, or Sophie, which is her Phantom Thief code name. And there she is, doing an all-out attack, as well as dodging those.
Oh, that was awesome.
Awesome, I love this. Yeah, you can interact with your environment a lot, and perfect.
Oh, the all-out attacks are so good. So I love... Oh, nice. And they dropped a Persona mask right there as well. Awesome. So I love that it's a little different that, you're not just stopping and, thinking through, let me sift through all of my Persona and figure play by play what I can do. It's sort of you're in the midst of the action. You can be doing melee, but then you can have these moments where you stop and consider, especially for those really main big boy Personas that are in the mix.
Yes, there are definitely a lot of times for you to plan out your next move, but you can also just play and just, attack as many enemies as possible, switch through different Phantom Thieves like you saw. We went from Joker to Sophie by the press of a button.
Nice. All right, so we're getting a little bit of story here. As we move through the jail, they all have a different theme, a little bit of a different way that you're going to have to navigate them. So we're running into this enemy character. He's the guardian of the gate. What's going to happen?
I wanted to note also we're in Sendai, so this is the first time the Phantom Thieves are outside of Tokyo. The original game took place in one city.
That's right.
But in Persona 5 Strikers, you'll be traveling all over Japan and hitting new sites and new locations, meeting all kinds of new characters, and fighting big bad bosses like this.
I was going to say, it's a lot more environmental, too. Joker's able to jump off of those icicles. I know in other areas that we're going to see later, if they're coming from above, he can be swooping down off of stuff and dropping things. Oh, that was nice. He's able to take him out right there. Let's jump ahead a little bit and see where the Phantom Thieves take us. All right, we've jumped forward a little bit. Our Phantom Thieves are a little bit farther into this jail, but this isn't exactly a linear setup like in Palace. As you mentioned earlier, this is a whole city that they're exploring, so there's a lot more of back and forth happening here, right?
Right. So in palaces, which is more like a traditional JRPG dungeon, you kind of go through, you defeat bosses, and you just make your way down into the palace. But here in a jail, it is more of a city. As you can see, Haru's already scaling and looking around. There's a lot of like mini puzzles you kind of have to complete to clear each stage and get through each area.
Yeah, so we jumped ahead a little bit, but our Phantom Thieves right now are searching for 2 orbs, these 2 items that are going to help them move forward in the castle that they're trying to get into. But first, they're going to fight some persona.
Yeah.
So what I love is that you can trigger an all-out attack like much faster in this sort of setup of fighting.
Exactly.
It's not like that linear of like we're going to hit and then hit back and hit back. Like you can start off like surprising and ambushing the persona, and it can set you up for like that huge success right at the beginning.
Yes, it's awesome. Can I just comment on the fact that we saw Haru do an ambush and take off the mask? That is so cool, and I think that's one of the best parts is that you can play as any of these Phantom Thieves, and we just saw her give that baton pass to Joker right now, and he's going through all the stepping stones and doing his Phantom Thief thing.
How would you say that like is there a benefit to switching off who's sort of like the one that's actually running around and is the one that you're controlling in that moment?
Yes, actually, since we were just talking about Haru, I would love to mention that she, just like in the original Persona 5, each character kind of has their affinity, their element.
Yeah.
So, she has her regular attacks, she has her psychokinesis attacks. Her gun is also a grenade launcher, so it's high attack power and range. And, it just you really feel like each Phantom Thief you're using the full power of that character.
Nice. So we're seeing this is probably going to be a big boy that they have to fight off. And I love what Yusuke is bringing up here is like each of these jails sort of has like a narrative construct to them. They're not all the same. The monarchs who are the ones that are sort of the owners of these jails, the people that in real life are sort of the corrupted hearts. They all kind of have like a theme that's going on. So like a previous one that we've seen is sort of that it's like this wonderland. She's like this idol in real life, and her world is this like twisted wonderland. Here it seems to be that there's like a storybook type thing, like a novel video game setup happening.
Yes, that's right. And I think something really important to note there, too, is that we're not actually taking the hearts of these individuals like we were in Persona 5. It's more about freeing and liberating the hearts of the people they've captured. So within this entire city, the monarch has all of them under his or her control. So with the idol, for example, she was taking those hearts and turning those people all into her fans.
That's just how idols work. All right, so we're running into this guy again. We meet our chosen heroes.
Right, so see, he's living in this video game fantasy. Everyone's a hero to him, the chosen heroes, and we're in his castle. He's with the Fearsome Four. Very dramatic.
I know, I just love cutscenes like this.
Bestowing our master's trials upon the chosen hero.
Right, so the trials he's talking about are those orbs that we're trying to collect, and that's very specific to the Sendai jail that we're in.
Right.
And you'll have to defeat.
What's Joker gonna say? We're gonna take you down. No, say bring it. Say bring it.
Bring it.
Bring it.
Yes.
Oh man, Futama's my fave. I love how she definitely has like a bit more of an interactive element in this game. She provides support, but I know in a previous section there's like hacking moments where you need to be there's sort of like a bunch of incoming hordes of persona and you have to protect her while she's hacking. I just love how like every member has like a little bit more to do in this one.
Yes, it's so cool. I think for Futaba especially or Oracle, it's very much you actually see her on the battlefield too, which is new for a lot of people, and yeah, I just want to protect her and take care of her. So she's so wonderful.
Nice. Now I was able to play the preview, and so I'm sort of getting the hang of the way that you got to play through the gameplay. But what I love is moments like this that you go around the jail and you have the one-on-one interactions with persona that you're ambushing. But then in these larger ones, there's a little bit of a difficulty spike, and I would have moments that I was like, okay, I like really got to plan out ahead of time sometimes, like who am I going to have on my team that I need to be utilizing their persona. And what I love is that there's these checkpoints throughout the jail that you can sort of take the time of, let me save here, let me switch out folks on my team. You know, maybe I needed Sophie's power for something earlier, but I know there's something coming up that Yusuke might be more useful for. You can be deciding ahead of time of how you want to navigate it, like the strategy of it. There's so much more strategy to it, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's what kind of differentiates it from other games that are this genre, you know, where you do have hordes of monsters that you're fighting. There is still that persona element to it where you have to, you know, be strategic, and are we going to take advantage of Fox's high attack power, or should we be more, you know, using Queen and her close range fighting, using her fists, for example. So I think it's really enjoyable in that aspect.
All right, so here's a checkpoint like we were just talking about. Yusuke's taking a moment. That's a great spot that, you know, if you want to switch out your team, if you want to head over to the Velvet Room and fuse some of the persona that Joker's been collecting in your time here. This is also a great moment, you know, before you keep going, after you've fought a big boss, stop, grab some HP, like heal some folks up.
Yeah, it kind of functions like the safe rooms in that way, and I think also you're seeing some of the cool UI here that's unique to Strikers. You've still got that really cool Persona 5 style all over, even in the loading screen.
The whole like styling of the world, all of it is just fantastic to me. The music, the new start screen, and like the music there too. It's always my favorite. I always let those starting screens play. I never skip forward when I start the game because it's just so much fun.
I totally understand. And we're going to the next orb in the Land of Rain, and as you can see, it's raining.
So, and this is a reflection of something in real life as well. So they're actually moving through parts of the city.
The city itself, yes.
Oh, it could be a trap. Don't let your guard down, guys. Love it.
I don't know if you noticed it earlier, but Sophie, too, she is just discovering rain for the first time. So she is just so cute. She uses these yo-yos to attack. You can see her holding one right there. And she is our newest member of the Phantom Thieves. Very cute.
Nice. What is her affinity type that she uses? Is it Bless?
I believe it's Bless. She also uses a blaster for her gun attacks, so she's very useful for mowing down large amounts of enemies. Oh, and we're running across a treasure demon right here.
Oh, I love these. So these are great because you beat them up and you try to defeat them in time so you can get lots of rewards. And again, here using that environmental attack, jumping onto things that give you a little bit of a boost when you're coming in to fight.
Yes, and it's so cool to see Yusuke jumping on an ice crystal that it's like his stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and I love that they're sort of explaining this all to Sophie.
Mona's explaining it for us, so we don't have to.
I'll be sure to remember these.
So if we see one, we should try to
See, so I think Sophie's great. If you're a newcomer to the Persona series, she's kind of your entryway in to like learn what are these treasure demons, what are these jails, and why are we going through them.
Exactly. All right. So they have one. Ooh, and then what is this screen we're seeing?
So that is kind of the bonuses you can get for your team. Each particular jail has different bonuses, and they're kind of like buffs, ways to make your team stronger as you explore throughout the jail.
How do you get points to put into those?
Just by defeating and mowing down as many enemies as possible. So there is a benefit to fighting and attacking and killing everything in sight.
Nice. I like it.
Oh, and here we go. You can just jump all over the place. Very cool.
The world has so much verticality here. Like it's a lot more of like platforming. Sometimes it even sort of looks like it's like a 2D scrolling situation. The camera will sort of shift.
Oh, yes.
But I love this. Or it just allows for more of these like ambushing scenarios. I always try to go through a run without ever being seen if I can.
Like an actual Phantom Thief sneaking around.
Exactly. All right, so they're keeping moving, they're keeping going. They need to find the rain orb. Quick checkpoint here.
Yes.
And it's good to make sure to stop here, because stop, do a quick save. You never know what's going to be around the next corner. Especially these drones are the ones that always end up catching
Oh,
me.
they're the worst. They're so hard to sneak past.
So it's always like, how do I sneak, or how do I get above them so that I can try to ambush them somehow? What's Yusuke going to do?
But yeah, like you said, this sneaking around and just doing these things, again, blown away that you can do it as Fox, that you can do it as other characters. And when you do ambush, the showtime gauge goes a lot quicker.
Interesting. How does the baton passing work in this?
Oh, as you can see, there's like a little UI over there. You can just click one of the buttons and you'll immediately pass on to the other character.
From the D-pad.
The D-pad, that's correct.
Got it. Oh, and now we're back to Haru.
Yeah, it was pretty seamless from Fox all the way to Haru, and then now to Sophie.
Oh, look at her go. She's awesome.
I love her. She fits right in with the Phantom Thieves.
All right. Well, I cannot wait to see where the Phantom Thieves go, how many hearts they end up freeing from these jails. But Ari, thank you so much for your time. It's always great to dive into the world of Persona.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor, and I mean, I love Persona 5. I can't say that enough.
All right, so you guys can play Persona 5 Strikers on February 23rd, or if you pre-order the digital deluxe from PlayStation Store, you can get it on February 19th. Get ready to steal some hearts.
See you guys there.